In the immense and ever-expanding universe of Marvel Comics, very few characters earn the title of unstoppable. It is a word often thrown around, but rarely has it been more fitting than in the case of today's two contenders. One, a shining beacon of raw cosmic energy with godlike powers and a dark secret. The other, a living battering ram of mystical force who does he just move forward, he crashes through everything. In this episode, we pit the Sentry against the Juggernaut, two of Marvel's most fearsome powerhouses. Both have dominated battles against the most powerful beings in the Marvel Universe. Both have shattered expectations, and quite literally the environment around them. But only one can be called the most unstoppable. Robert Reynolds, better known as the Sentry, is Marvel's own twisted reflection of Superman, a man who wields the power of a million exploding suns, yet suffers from one of the most dangerous dualities in comic book history. Within him resides the Void, a dark, all-consuming presence that is equal in power and exponentially more chaotic. This internal struggle makes him a walking time bomb of destruction and potential. Across the battlefield stands Cain Marko, the Juggernaut, the human embodiment of an avalanche powered by the crimson gem of Cyttorak. Once he starts moving, he can't be stopped. His sheer force is just physical, it's mystical, it's magical, and above all, it's absolute. He is Marvel's living siege weapon, capable of smashing through gods, buildings, and dimensions with equal fury. Their clash isn't just a brawl, it's a philosophy in collision. Cosmic instability versus mystical momentum. Raw power fueled by trauma versus relentless force driven by conviction. So when these two titans collide, who walks away? The Sentry, Marvel's solar-powered god on the brink of insanity. The Sentry's origin is as mysterious as it is awe-inspiring. Created in the early 2000s, but retroactively tied to Marvel's golden age, Robert Reynolds begins as a seemingly normal man who suddenly remembers he was once the world's greatest superhero. After consuming the Golden Sentry Serum, a super soldier experiment gone way beyond Steve Rogers' dose, he becomes something entirely different. Sentry possesses an arsenal of powers so vast it borders on omnipotence. He's been shown to lift aircraft carriers effortlessly, move at speeds that challenge time itself, and manipulate energy at a molecular level. He can fly into the heart of a sun, survive the vacuum of space, and bend matter like clay. During the Siege storyline, he dismembered Ares, the literal god of war. His power isn't theoretical, it is terrifyingly real. But what makes Sentry uniquely dangerous isn't just what he can do, it is what he might do. Because living inside Robert is the Void, his shadow self, his dark mirror. The Void isn't just a villain. Sentry's own inner darkness, manifested as an entity capable of unimaginable destruction. It shares his powers, his knowledge, and his access to all that he can do, without any of the restraint. Over the years, this inner battle has pushed Sentry to the edge. Sometimes he's the savior, other times he's the threat. And what makes him so unpredictable in combat. His strength is limitless, but so is the risk. Even in death, Sentry's powers live on. After Robert Reynolds is brutally killed by Null, his energy is dispersed among multiple individuals. One of them, Mallory Gibbs, inherits the full might of his power and becomes Solaris, the next evolution of the Sentry legacy. But for our purposes, we focus on the original, a man powerful enough to save the universe, but unstable enough to destroy it. Juggernaut, the unrelenting avatar of mystical destruction, while the Sentry's power is born of science and cosmic chaos. Juggernaut's origin lies in the ancient and the arcane. Cain Marko is the stepbrother of Charles Xavier. But unlike the telepathic leader of the X-Men, Marko was always more brute than brain until he stumbled upon the crimson gem of Cyttorak, a mystical artifact that transformed him into an unstoppable force. As the Juggernaut, Cain became Cyttorak's living avatar. With his new powers came complete invulnerability, limitless strength, and the single most iconic trait in Marvel Comics. Once he begins moving, he cannot be stopped. Not by gravity, not by magic, not by any physical force. Juggernaut, as durability is unmatched. He has stood unfazed in front of Hulk, as punches, Thor, as hammer psychic attacks, an entire collapsing dimension. His magical force field protects him from psychic invasion, including Charles Xavier himself. While most heroes fight and tire, Juggernaut simply endures, forever forward. But perhaps what makes Juggernaut truly fascinating in recent years is his evolution. Once a villain bent on revenge, Cain Marko has turned over a new leaf. He's joined the X-Men, fought for good, and distanced himself from Cyttorak's manipulation. This makes him more than just a wrecking ball. It makes him a man who chooses to be better, and that choice gives him moral weight behind his physical power. His intelligence is often underrated. He knows how to use his environment, when to pull punches and, if needed, when not to. He is no longer a tool of rage. He's a soldier with purpose. That transformation is what makes Juggernaut more than just a mountain of muscle. The hypothetical showdown, when light meets momentum. So what happens when these two beings collide? Let us build the scene. The earth trembles, dust rises. In the distance, Juggernaut charges, each step creating tremors. His helmet glows with arcane fury, and nothing in his path has ever survived intact. Above him, a golden blur ignites the sky. Sentry descending from the heavens like a wrathful sun. Sentry strikes first, unleashing solar bursts that could vaporize cities, but Juggernaut does flinch. His mystical barrier absorbs the heat. He keeps moving. Sentry tries brute strength, but Juggernaut counters, matching the force and returning it with mystical intensity. They clash again and again, their impacts causing shockwaves felt for miles. Then Sentry vanishes, reappearing behind Juggernaut, lifting him with cosmic might and hurling him into space. But Juggernaut does die. He crashes down, creating a crater the size of a stadium, and walks out unfazed. The more he is resisted, the harder he pushes. If Sentry remains composed, he might manipulate molecular structures or even tap into void-level aggression to distort reality around Juggernaut. But if he cracks, even slightly, the void may emerge. And once that happens, the battle shifts, not just into a physical one, but a war of identities. And that might be Kane Marco's advantage, because he knows exactly who he is. In contrast, Sentry is often fractured, powerful, yes, but split between two natures. And in a battle of singular purpose versus divided will, history favors the one who never doubts. Final verdict, the real meaning of unstoppable. Let's be honest, there is no clean-cut answer here. Sentry is more powerful. On paper, his abilities exceed almost everyone in Marvel Comics. He has defeated gods, restructured matter, and threatened the entire universe. But that power is chaotic, conditional, often unstable. Juggernaut, in contrast, is straightforward. No weakness, no crisis of identity, no internal villain waiting to be unleashed. Just a mountain of momentum that grows stronger the more you push back. In an all-out brawl with no mental collapse and no void interference, Sentry has the tools to destroy Juggernaut. He could transmute his atoms, trap him in a gravity well, or send him across dimensions. But in the most likely fight scenario, Sentry as doubt creeps in. The void whispers, reality blurs. And Juggernaut? He just keeps walking. So here, as the judgment, Sentry is the most powerful, but Juggernaut is the most unstoppable. Power bends, momentum crushes, and that's what gives Juggernaut the edge, not in strength, but in certainty. He will not stop. He has no alternate persona, no fracture in identity, no fear of himself. What do you think? Do you agree that Juggernaut is Marvel's true embodiment of unstoppable force? Or does Sentry, as nearly infinite cosmic power, make him the real winner? Check out my other videos for more epic character crossovers and battles. Thanks for watching, and stay happy and healthy.